Hi, my name's Garry, and I authenticate autographs and signatures for superstars. I've been authenticating signatures now for about 15 years, but I've been dealing in autographs for over 30 years. That's when I started the business itself. But I started collecting when I was about 12 years old, which was a good few years ago now. I'm often asked what makes me credible in authenticating autographs. There aren't any formal qualifications for what we do. It's all about experience. Having had over 30 years collecting autographs and dealing in them every single day, and having spent years actually collecting them at stage doors, in person, at events, sporting events and so on, you gain a great deal of knowledge. And there are a number of books that have been written on that subject. Most of them are on my bookshelf there. But it's much more complex than you might think. It's not just a question of looking at a signature and determining whether or not it's genuine. It's much more detailed than that, which is why I have so many magnifying glasses and different ways in which to spot fake autographs. The first thing you need to do when authenticating the signature is actually determine whether or not the signature is actually a signature and not simply something that's been printed or produced mechanically in some ways. For example, I have a Bob Marley signed photograph here. Very easily you can tell this is a forgery, because if you turn it over, it has a copyright date on it of 2001. Bob Marley was already dead by then, so he couldn't possibly have signed it. Authenticating signatures is very much about comparison. So you're always comparing the suspect signature with known genuine examples. So it's always important to use the same time frame for the signatures. Otherwise, you might be comparing a signature signed in, say, 2008 with examples that were signed in 1958, and the signatures will be different. A question I often get asked is, which is the most valuable signature, or which is the most valuable signature I've actually authenticated? It's a difficult one to answer because there are so many different things that are sold at auction that are signed. So, for instance, the album that John Lennon signed before he was shot, that sold at auction. It's over $500,000. But there are many other items that have been sold at tens of millions of dollars. And if you actually looked at what would be the most expensive, you are probably looking at William Shakespeare. There's only 6 known examples of William Shakespeare's signature. Each one of them apparently is different. I've not seen them all, obviously. None of them are available for sale. None of them have ever really come to auction. And if they did come to auction today, you would be looking in terms of, I would suspect, tens of millions of pounds. I would always recommend buying items via superstars because of the amount of time that we all put into ensuring that the product that you buy is authentic and it is what we say it is. It's very easy to buy the wrong thing at auctions. I've seen it many times before, and I have worked with other companies in the past that have not been so particular. The only company now that I work with for charity fundraising is Superstars. I won't work with anybody else.